Newcastle United number 9 and number 9 legend at St James's Park. We met up with Sir Les Ferdinand. You hear Newcastle Legends event at St James's, a massive turnout. Does it shock you that you're still held in such high esteem?
You know, when you consider that I was only here for 2 years, you know, I came up when QPR played Newcastle this season. One of my mates who'd never been here before, I said to him, "You got to come and just see the stadium. It's absolutely sensational." The reception I got when I got here, just from people outside and walking into the stadium, he turned around and said to me, "How many years did you say you was here for?" I said, "Yeah, only 2." But like, you know, it's, you know, of all the clubs I've been at, and I've been at a few in the end, it's the only one I come back to.
Les, it's well known when you signed for Newcastle back in 1995 that there was a lot of clubs interested, but what was it swung it? What made you come up here?
I think a couple of seasons before, I played with QPR here, and we got a famous victory, 1-2-1. And I always remember walking off the pitch at the end of the game. I remember how well the team was supported on that day. Newcastle was supported, but you know, we played pretty well and probably deserved it. Well, no, we did deserve the win, but we applauded off the pitch as well. And I remember walking off the pitch, going up the tunnel and saying to the players, "Can you imagine playing in front of that week in, week out?" It was well known that I was going to be leaving in the summer, and you know, I'd spoken to a few clubs, but once I spoke to Kevin, do you know what I mean? It took me about 5 minutes, and he was sold.
The run-in, there's some epic games in there. The Liverpool one everyone brings up, but in the dressing room when that run-in is kind of kicking on, the Man United game as well, let's not forget. What was the atmosphere like in there? Was because it always seemed quite positive from the outside.
Yeah, and I think it was. It was. On our part, I think most of the players would admit that we had a bit of complacency in there, and that's probably what cost us. Peter Beardsley had calculated, had we continued winning in the way that we'd been winning, we'd have had the season wrapped up at the end of March. Unfortunately, that weren't to be, and within the space of sort of like 10-day, 2-week period, it had wilted down to 3 points, and we were on that slippery slope. And I think the thing for us at the time was too many players that were key for us in that season, including myself, you know, fell out of form.
You did famously give up the number 9 shirt. That obviously meant a lot to you, though.
I didn't give it up; it was taken away. Nah, to be honest, Keegan spoke to me about it. He called me and said, "Look, I'm going to sign Shearer for a record transfer fee," and I went, "Brilliant, great." And he said, "You'll hear rumours that you're going to leave the football club." He goes, "But that's not my thought process. I want to keep you." And went to walk away, and he went, "Oh, there's one other thing." I said, "What's that?" He said, "Alan's asked for the number 9 shirt. What did you say?" And he said, "Well, I said I'd ask Les. You know, Alan's worn it all his career." And I just said, "Well, I've worn it all my career. But listen, the mere fact that you're asking me means you want Alan to have it." And you know, I had like a couple of minutes to think about it. You know, it kind of like dawned on me that he wanted Alan to have it. The majority of the Geordie supporters, with all honesty, would want Alan to have it. Their boy coming home, number 9, and what it means. And so I made the decision. You know, he can have it.
Kevin left, of course, in the January. You could see it was a big shock to the players. But what impact did that have on the squad?
Well, obviously massive, because you know, we'd gone from this guy talking about us winning the league and feeling like he'd put the squad of players together to win this league, to going out the door, and then the reasons for him going out the door, the reasons that we were told why he went out the door, you know, we just couldn't understand. But this is professional football, and we're professional players. Football managers come and go. The stadium stays, the supporters stay, and people just get on.
Kenny Dalglish, and the team put together a fine run at the back end of that season, qualified for the Champions League. But then things changed, obviously. You left and seemed hesitant to leave as well.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave, but he'd made it clear to me that you know, there was going to be changes. But he'd told me what his intentions were for the season, and I said, "Well, if those are your intentions, all I want to do is play football." And he was like, "Okay," and he respected my wishes. And then Tottenham came in. I said, "Look, I know you got an opportunity to sell me. If you want to do that, do it. Don't bother fighting for me if I'm not going to play." So that was the case, and then infamously I went down to London, did my medical, and I was sat in a restaurant on a Saturday night, and waiter comes up and said, "There's a call for you." So I went to the phone, picked it up. There was an agent at the time, and said to me, "Look, Alan Shearer's broken his ankle," and that was you know, the first. And I was like, oh man, I'll give him a call. And he went, no, you don't understand. Newcastle want you to come back. But then I'd spoken to Alan on the phone, wished him all the best and stuff like that. And he said, look, I totally understand why